Perfect. Whoever wanna talk can then unmute المايك ديالهم. مرحبا بكم. We're so happy to have you here joining us today. معنا لالا فاطمة الزهراء ولالا ماجدة from the US Exchange Program Department. سلام خديجة.
شكرا لله أميمة على الاستضافة. We are very happy to be with you guys. With all of you, we are proud of you, young ladies. تبارك الله عليكم, entrepreneurs, inshallah, aspiring entrepreneurs. I hope you are having a great time during the academy. And so today we're going to be having this presentation about exchanges. غادي نديروها بالانجلي ولكن في نفس الوقت غنبقاو نهضروا بالعربيه مره ولا عندكم اسئله please feel free to ask us any questions you might have. غنحاولوا نخليو the last غادي نديروا presentation and then have a Q&A session at the end. ولكن إلا كانت شي حاجة بالانجلي during the presentation ما فهمتوهاش, please feel free to ask us. I am joined by my colleague Majda Bourish. Majda, are you there?
Assalamu alaikum. Yes, I'm right here. So hello everyone. I see some faces that I know. We have an alumna here, Suad. Hi Suad, and I think someone else that I recognize also. So I'm happy to be here with you. We are really proud of you as the first cohort of the AWE program. This is the first time we do it in Morocco, and so I'm sure it's going to be a very great experience. So I'm Majda Bourish, as Fatima Zahra Slimani introduced me, and I work on professional exchange programs at the US Embassy in Rabat. Thank you for having us today.
Thank you, Fatima Zahra Majda.
Thank you very much, Umayma. So I think we're going to start, right?
Let's do this.
No further ado. So we're going to be talking about exchanges, and we're going to start with youth exchanges. So the U.S. Department of State funds a number of exchanges, of cultural exchanges for all, for students, for professionals. There are exchanges for pretty much everyone. And we're going to be talking briefly about the programs, and we're going to tell you where to find the information in case you would like to apply. And we will focus specifically on the application, because this is something that we noticed throughout the recruitment process, is that a lot of people don't do really well in their application, which is unfortunate, because some candidates can be really talented, but when it comes to working on their application, they tend to they maybe miss their opportunity to show us who they really are. So we're going to talk briefly about the programs, and then we're going to talk about how to submit a good application, and then we'll have a Q&A session. So the 2021 exchange programs. The first program we're going to be talking about is hold on.
Can you control the screen, Fatima Zahra?
I'm gonna see. I do have the arrow, but for some reason I cannot.
Okay, now I think you are.
Can you check? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
All right. So the very first program we're going to be talking about is Tech Girls. I know that you are aged between 20 and 28, so you might not be really interested in this particular one. But if you know of a girl who's aged between 15 and 17 and is interested in science and technology, please let them know about this opportunity. For now, the recruitment is over for 2021, but it will open next year, inshallah. And if you know of a girl aged between 15 and 17 interested in science, please let them know. So just so you know, these exchange programs, for those who haven't heard of these programs before, are the opportunity for students and professionals to go to the United States for either a short-term for a short-term program or a longer-term program. They go there to experience life in the US and to develop their leadership skills. It is also an opportunity for all the participants to be ambassadors for our country, because when you go to the United States, you represent Morocco and you let people know about your own culture and your own country. So this is why they're called cultural exchange, because participants get to learn about the American culture, and at the same time, they share our culture. So the second program I'm gonna be talking about is, is the Race to Space. So this is a competition. It's also for 15 to 18 high school students. And they get to go to Huntsville, Alabama in the United States for a 2-week program. It's a little more than 2 weeks, but they get to have an astronaut training. It's a lot of fun. It's a competition where they have to make a video and then people vote. This is an incredible opportunity, and all the kids have an amazing time there. So once again, if you know someone who's interested in astrology and would like to participate, let them know. All right, so the third program, yes, for the Tech Girls is for girls only, but the Race to Space is for both girls and boys. I'm trying to change the, I'm really sorry, it's slow. Okay, so the YES program is also for high school students aged between 15 and 16. They get to go to the United States for 10 months. So they live with a host family and they go to an American high school. This program is also closed for this year, but it will open next year, inshallah. So if you know someone, let them know. Okay, maybe tomorrow's leaders. So this program is a funding opportunity for students who finished high school and would like to pursue undergraduate studies at an American university. So this is an American university in the Middle East. It can be Egypt or Lebanon, depending on how things go. This is an amazing opportunity for students. They get to go 4 years. Of course, fully funded. When we say fully funded, it includes everything. It includes the plane ticket, the rent, the food, the books, everything. So for now, what you need to know, and this might be of interest to you, is that there is maybe tomorrow's leaders for graduate students. So if you would like to study master's degree students at an American university in Egypt, it's not in our presentation here, but you can just Google MEPI Tomorrow's Leaders Graduate Program, and it will take you to the website where you will have all the information. You will have all the information for the graduate program. So if you would like to apply, it is open until March 2, so you don't have a lot of time. But please check it out. Again, just Google MEPI Tomorrow's Leaders Graduate Program, and you will find all the information you need. All right. So MEPI Student Leaders is for university students aged between 20 and 24. They get to spend 5 weeks in the United States to develop their leadership skills. And it's also a wonderful opportunity. It is not open right now. And we hope that, I say we hope because now because of COVID, a lot of in-person program shifted online. So we do have a lot of programs that have taken place online. But we hope that next summer, everything will go back to normal, inshallah. And people will get to travel and participate in all of the programs. So, and then there's Susie also. So we have 2 Susies. There's one for focused on women's leadership and one focused on entrepreneurship and economic development. So I think both of these programs might be of interest to you. It's for female. So this one, on women's leadership is only for female aged between 18 and 25. They get to spend 5 weeks in the United States. And this one on entrepreneurship and economic development is for men and women. Oh, so we do have an alumna of the Susie program. Great. That's awesome. So yeah, please feel free to reach out to her, because alumni are the best resource for all the information regarding the programs, because they've experienced it. They've been through the selection process. They've been there. So if you have questions, they're always happy to answer, and we're here to answer too. But it's only for students. Yes, it's for undergraduate students. Yeah, so it's for undergraduate students aged between 18 and 25. So Global UGrad is also for undergraduate students. So you have to be at least 18 years old. It is open right now. So for those of you who would be interested, the application is open until March 15. So you can go to Word Learning and check out all the details. But all of the details can be found on the U.S. Embassy website. And Majda, my colleague Majda, will explain where to go to find the information you need. Older than 25, so there are opportunities. So Majda will be talking about professional exchanges, and then there is a CEE also. It's a community engagement exchange that's for young professionals aged between 20 and 27. So this is the CE I was talking about. So this program is a one-year program with 3 months in the United States, and the rest is conducted online. So it's for 20 to 27 years old participants. Again, all the details can be found on the U.S. Embassy website. It is closed now. It was open a little while ago. So now the recruitment for this year is over, but it will open, inshallah, next year again. Okay, so now, Majda.
Thank you, Fatem Zahra. So, since we have alumni with us, it is just worth mentioning that these programs are open for the short-term programs that take place, I would say, in the summer, or that take place from 5 to 6 weeks. Though the alumni are not eligible for these programs anymore, unfortunately. Why? Because we have very limited slots for these opportunities, and so we want to give the chance to new people every year, and to get to meet new people and grow our alumni family. And so most of these opportunities are open to everyone, but alumni, if they benefit from one program, they cannot benefit for the majority of these. They still can benefit from Fulbright programs, and I will mention briefly Fulbright and then show you where to find information about the Fulbright scholarships, or any long-term programs. Like last year we had this program that was 1 year for entrepreneurs that we don't have this year. It's called Atlas Core Fellowship, and that's something alumni are eligible for. So if it comes back and we announce it, I encourage you to apply for that opportunity. So before I go and talk about each program in details, I would like to mention the common things about professional exchanges, they are all, except one, they are all fellowship programs, which means you go to the United States and spend some time working for an American institution. It could be an NGO, it could be an incubator, it could be a startup. It depends on your interests and your field. We start recruiting for, when we say professionals, we target young professionals between 25 and 40 years old. This age changes from one program to the other, but that's the average age. So that could interest a lot of you here today. Again, if you are still young and you cannot apply yet, I want you to be aware of these programs. I want you to ask us questions and know the maximum you can about these programs, and then get ready to apply when you are eligible. And so it's kind of you prepare yourself for these opportunities in advance, either when it comes to experience, because they all require at least 2 years of professional experience, or when it comes to language, if you think your English needs improving, then this is the time to work on your English and have it at a good discussing level, because we will talk about this later. But when we say fluent in English, we want you to understand Americans when they speak. We want Americans to understand you, because you will be working closely with them when you do these programs. And so those are the three common things about these programs. We have short-term programs, long-term programs, just like youth programs. So short-term programs, okay, I'll go one by one this way. My ideas are organized. I don't know why here we go. We'll start with the long-term one that we have for professionals, which is Community Solutions Program. This is a 4-month fellowship program where professionals between 25 and 38 travel to the US and work with an American organization on one of 4 teams. So we recruit people who are working on environmental issues, if you are working on tolerance and conflict resolution, if you are interested in transparency and accountability, and of course, women and gender. And so you, like women, young aspiring women entrepreneurs, you could actually feel maybe your focus as a woman entrepreneur is environment. You could still apply to this, or you can apply as a woman entrepreneur for the women and gender theme program. So the program usually takes place in between August and December. And so you will notice that these programs for professionals, they happen during the year. So what we encourage people to do is make sure they can travel during that period of the year, because contrarily to youth programs who happen in the summer, people do not have to miss school to do those programs. While if you are working and you have to be away for 4 months, you have to make sure that you can travel for 4 months and be away of your work. And so if you think you cannot, maybe it's not worth going through the trouble of applying. But if you think you can get an authorization to participate, then yes, definitely go ahead and apply. So that's the first program. It was open a few months ago. We usually open it in October. So look out for this opportunity next October and apply. The second program that we have, this one is a short term. And again, when we say short term, it's any program between 2 weeks and 6 weeks. And the Professional Fellows Program, or in short, PFP, takes place in 5 weeks, where you spend those 5 weeks doing a fellowship again with an American organization, depending on your interest. So every 3 years, we have a theme for the PFP. So the last theme we had was entrepreneurship. That could be very interesting for you. And we had civic engagement. So we don't know what is the theme or what are the themes for next year. So when we recruit for this in the fall of 2021, we will tell you what are we recruiting for, but mostly it will be economic development, civic engagement. Those are the things we do, or it could be disability rights. So I cannot tell you right now if this will apply to you, but please just keep checking our website, again, our social media. That's where we put all the details. So the PFP is a special program because it is the only exchange program that is two-way, which means Moroccans travel to the US for those 5 weeks. And then after that, the Americans who hosted them in the US will come to Morocco and visit them at their organizations in Morocco and work with them in Morocco for a while. It's the only program that is a two-way exchange program. And so we will recruit for this, as I said, next fall, inshallah, since, again, with COVID, we didn't get the chance to do that this year. And I think that Suad here did the PFP. Am I right, Suad? Yes, 2016. I see, I remember. So again, you have someone who did the program. She knows probably more about the program than I do. So if you have any questions about the PFP, reach out to Saad. I'm sure she will be happy to help you and answer your questions. And again, if you have any questions during this session, you can take part in it, Saad, if you have answers. And so the last program I'll talk about, and that could be very interesting to you, young ladies, is the Tech Women program. It is a very popular program that the Department of State's funds. And so it is special because it's not a fellowship. You are not going to one organization and work with them for the duration of the program. It's a mentoring program. And so you travel actually to the Silicon Valley, which is pretty awesome. And you visit these big tech companies in the Silicon Valley and Bay Area in California, and you work closely with women in the STEM field. But also, it's not only STEM, it's also entrepreneurship. We try to gather both when it comes to this program. So if you are an entrepreneur with an interest in science and engineering and mathematics, this could be the perfect opportunity for you. Again, it requires 2 years of professional experience, a bachelor degree, and just a sense of commitment to innovation in general. This program is 6 weeks, and part of the program also there is a competition where like each country designs an action plan projects that they will come back to their country and implement. And so you compete with that projects, and if you win, you get seed funding for that to start implementing your projects when you go back to Morocco. So if you are interested in the Tech Women program, it's gonna open in the spring, inshallah. So that comes soon, probably March, April, we'll be recruiting for this opportunity. Check it out. So those are briefly the programs we have for professionals. And as I said, we are not going through all the details about these programs. We will answer questions if you have them, but this is the part that we want you to know more about, which is how to submit a strong application, because these programs are very competitive. And so I'll give the floor to my colleague Fatem Zahra to do that. Go ahead, FZ.
Thank you very much, Majda. So just as my colleague Majda said, they are competitive. We do get large numbers of applications. This is not to discourage anyone, definitely not. It's not the purpose. It's just to give you tips on how to submit a strong application. Because if your application is strong, then it will be we will, inshallah, invite you to the interview, and it will be your opportunity to participate in the program. So we're going to start with the things that you should do to submit a strong application. So we're going to call them the do's. So the very first thing is read the program announcements and check your eligibility before applying, which means we will show you where to find the information. We will show you where to find the announcements. And if you follow the U.S. Embassy Facebook page, every announcement that is published is posted there first. So first of all, just read everything. Read the program. Am I eligible for this program? Do I have the skills they are looking for? This is something essential, because if you apply for a program that you are not eligible for or not ready for, you won't be considered. So just read the program announcement. Do you have the required age? Do you have the required background? Are we looking for someone who's interested in women's leadership, for example? Do you have that background of women's leadership interests? Can you prove it? Can you show it in your application? So this is something really important. First, read the program announcements, and if you think you are a good candidate for the program, move forward and please submit your application. So start your application process early and take your time, because application is not easy. It's a lot of questions you need to answer. It's essays you need to write. It's documents you need to provide. It's a lot of things to do. So start early. So you have plenty of time to do everything you need to do without rushing, without stressing out. So start early and don't wait until the last minute before submitting, because again, just take your time and you will have plenty of time to do everything you need to do. So you need also to answer all of the questions. If a question is written, it means that we need you to answer it. If you are asked to submit a 500, for example, words essay, please submit the 500 words. Don't write 1 or 2 sentences. Read every question carefully and try your best to answer give answers that are as specific as possible. And for the recommendation letters are really important. So try to get recommendation letters from people who know you, from people who personally know you, who can write something personal about you, a teacher who knows you personally and can tell us how great you are. Try to avoid those recommendation letters that are general. Some schools do deliver those general recommendation letters. They are really general and pretty much given to everyone. They just change the name. So try to avoid those and try to go to someone who knows you personally. And be yourself. Tell us who you are and tell us about your own experience. Don't try to be someone else, because if you try to pretend, it will show at some point. So just be yourself and tell us everything we need to know about you. So I think these are pretty much the do's that we would like you to bear in mind. And Majda, please, thank you.
Before I go to the don'ts, I just want to insist very much on the be yourself part, because we want unique people. Like we get, let's just talk numbers, we get 500 applications at least for some programs. And so going through those, we go through one after the other. We are used to go through them fast, and they look a lot similar. They're good sometimes. They gave us enough details. They write really good essays. When you ask them who is the person who inspires them, the majority will say Elon Musk or Oprah Winfrey or Obama. So just try to to be more genuine, unique. Show us how different you are from these people. If in 500 applications we have to select only like 20 or 30 for interviews, we have to be very tough. Like it comes to the little things. And so take your time doing that application, because it is the I would say the knock that will open the door. That's how we get to know you first. And so it's a glimpse on your personality. It's like, we want to know that person more, and that's how we invite you to the interview, to get to know you more. So please do that and just be genuine, be open, and be yourself. So when it comes to the don'ts, I'll be the bad cop. So first, which makes sense, if you are not eligible, if you are not ready when it comes to language or experience or degree, please do not apply, because as I said, we get a lot of applications and we have to it's a lot of work for us, and we don't manage only one program. We manage at least 12 programs a year. And so it's a waste of everyone's time, even your time applying, because we will not look at your application if you are not eligible. Sometimes even when it comes to age, for example, the MEPI programs, you have to be born between 2 specific dates. And so if you are born only one day before that date on the announcement, you are not eligible, and we will not be able to look at your application, even if we want to, unfortunately. Even if you are strong, even if you are the ideal candidate for that opportunity, we cannot consider you, because it's kind of, I wouldn't say the law, but that's what we have to respect, to be fair to everyone. Because if we do an exception for one person, we will keep doing those, and it's not fair to other people. So please, again, going back to reading the announcement, making sure that you are in the age range, that you have the degree, you have the experience. And I saw questions about the experience. I'll get to that later. But if you are not, just don't waste your time or hours, find other opportunities. I'm sure there are other opportunities you can apply for, and when time is right, it's gonna happen and you can do that. Another problem that we have from applicants, and I think it's a cultural thing, maybe with Moroccans, I guess, is that we wait until the last day to submit an application. Like, we will open the program and you have 6 weeks to apply or 8 weeks to apply, and we'll go through the system every day to see how many applications we get. We will get 5 a day, 10 a day, and then during the last day we will get 300 the same day. And you know what happened to some people? They were great for the programs, they tried to apply, and that night the electricity went out and they could not do it. The internet went out and they could not do it. So please try to start early, prepare for it. It's not just taking your chances with electricity and internet, but also because it's a process that requires the reflection. You have to sit and think about these essays that we ask about you. There are questions that you can answer from, like, it's about your bio, your address, but then there are questions that really need self-reflection and reflection on your goals and what you want to do with this experience for yourself, professionally, personally, for your community. And so just take it one day at a time, take your time reading and applying. Going back, do not provide broad answers. We want very specific examples. When we ask about the associations, the associative work that you do, mention each one, as many details as you can, like your role in that association, one initiative that you worked on, and how special was your contribution. Again, another cultural thing that we have, I think, as we Moroccans, we always talk using the we, and we don't use the I, which we think it's humble, but it's not always good, because when it comes to these programs, it's competitive, it's fierce, competition is fierce. So you have to be more assertive. You have to talk about you. We want to know what you did in that program, what you did in that with that association, what you did during that project, and not just we organized, we went to this village. What exactly was your contribution? So yeah, moving to the next one. Make it simple for us, please. Don't make it hard for the reader, and just keep it simple. Tell us a date, a project, your role, the association you worked with, the community you worked with, but in a very organized and simple way. Don't plagiarize. We will know. We have our tools to check and to know if you have copied someone or copied from the internet. And sometimes if we don't find out during the application stage, we definitely find out during the interview stage. There is no doubt about it. So, and it looks bad, and then we will never consider you for anything, and we remember. So please don't do that. It's just not nice. And again, and finally, don't forget to follow us. Follow us on Facebook. Now we are also very present on Instagram, and a little bit less present than in Twitter, because that's where we push all the information. The announcements goes first on the website, goes first on Facebook and Instagram. So if you are following our accounts, you'll be the first people to know about these opportunities, and you can apply as early as possible, as we said. So I'll briefly show you where to find the information on our website, because it could be a little bit tricky, and then we will open the floor to questions. Here we go. So if you go to Google and just type USMC Morocco, and you go to the first web page. This is what you will see. And so exchanges are under education and culture, and you go to programs for Moroccans. Click on that, and you will be able to find information on youth programs, professional programs, other cultural programs that we do in Morocco, probably the opportunity that now AWE was announced maybe here. And then I mentioned Fulbright, but I didn't show you or tell you anything about Fulbright. So I'll just briefly click on here. So Fulbrights are actually now recruiting for some of their programming. I just encourage you to go to their website. It's macece.ma, and they put all the details on their programming in there. They have programs for people who want to study master's degree in the US, for language teachers to go to the US and teach Arabic. We have programs also for doctoral students, as I said, teachers, university professors and researchers to go to the US and do research. Also for professionals, we have the Humphrey program for professionals, and there are different teams. So I encourage you to go there and read more about these opportunities. They are also located in Rabat. I think they might be open on some days because of COVID, but before COVID, they receive people, they talk to people about these opportunities. You can just knock on their door if you are in Rabat and get to meet the professionals behind the Fulbright Commission in Morocco. So yeah. I guess that's the end of our presentation, and this is your part. Ask us question. We are here.
Just gonna add just a little thing. So just concerning the website, make sure you pick the English version of the website,
Yes.
the US Embassy, because if you pick the French or the Arabic version, you won't find the part where the programs are. And also, for those of you who might feel that their English level is not as good as they would like it to be right now, there's always there are always opportunities for you to work on your English if you are interested in a program and you would like to apply. There's English at Home. That's a Facebook page that has English classes for students, for high school students, for university students, for all the levels. So just follow English at Home on Facebook. And there's also the American Language Centers. Of course, you know those. For the English at Home, it's free. They do have live sessions with American teachers, and all of these sessions are recorded and put in that Facebook page. So if you would like to go there and improve your English, it's an amazing way to do so. Yes, so now questions.
I think we have some questions in the chat box. We could start with those. So I see one about professional exchanges. It states 2 years of experience in the respective disciplines. Yes, but let me just specify that when it comes to, for example, if you have, I would say, you are a civil servant and you work with the government, and then you also work with an association. And we know that sometimes in Morocco, your work with the NGO or association is your passion or your volunteer work. So that experience is also taken into account. It doesn't have to be your paying jobs for some programs. It could be your experience as a volunteer with those associations when it comes to professional experience. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
Okay.
Hello. Well, I would really love to thank you for this amazing presentation. I've learned like a lot about it, and since I was applying and I wanted to ask about work experience, is it okay if we don't have the a whole 2 years in the same enterprise, and if we can consider an internship as a professional experience? My other question is about the certificate, the English certificate. Does it have to be an IELTS or TOEFL? And does it have to be a B2 or C1? Maybe between 90 or 120. So I'm not sure about that. And what else? Yeah, I think that's it pretty much. Those two questions.
When it comes to professional experience, it doesn't have to be in the same organization. It could be cumulative. Maybe you spent 1 year here, another 6 months there. So we'll count the total of that experience. I would say internships, it depends. If there are internships part of your education or your college degree, university degree, maybe not. But if it is an internship that you did afterward, it could be. So I would say don't let that stop you. If it is, especially after after your studies, if it is part of your degree, the answer is no. But if it is after you graduated, you did an internship in NGO or organization or whatever, yes, you can apply that as professional experience. So when it comes to professional exchanges, we do not require any English testing, so no TOEFL, no IELTS, no GRE, nothing. It's only the English. We assess the English from the interview, talking to you, and that's it. But there are the criteria is different for some of the programs, for Fulbright or the youth programs that FZ could give you more information about.
So just like Majda said, at the selection stage, we don't require you to provide us with TOEFL or any other English level test. Once, for example, for the youth programs, if you are selected for the Global U Grad, then you will be offered the opportunity to take the TOEFL test. It will be paid for you, and you will take it once you are confirmed as a finalist, not before. So I see here that Kleitsau, I'm really sorry for the pronunciation. She's an alumna and would like to share some more tips with you guys. Are you there?
Yes, basically it's Kleitmas, not Kleit. That's only an abbreviation that I use for my email. Assalamu alaikum. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for the insightful presentation. I'm so sorry for the background noise. I'm at a cafe. With regards to what I want to share, actually, I want to share, I think maybe two major things. One, with regards to the application process and my experience with Susie for Women's Leadership. And two, the English at home. I think I'm going to start with the second one because I've just finished my hours as a teacher, as a content creator with English at home. And I hands down tell you that every single minute that you put into attending every session will be worth it. All the topics chosen and all the language points dealt with are really helpful. And they really tackle your understanding, but also allow you to interact with the teachers and the hosts who do incredible jobs. And for every week, there is an incredible theme. I would highly recommend that you attend. At least I used to create content with the secondary team level. And this week's topic is so good. It's about mental health and mindfulness, as well as meditation. So I highly recommend you go and join. The English used is according to the level. So there's university level. If you think your level is quite high, or I would say intermediate advanced. If you are like, I would say intermediate, like beginner level for intermediate, attend the secondary one. And it's on Wednesday from 5 to 6:30 or to 7. And then there's the primary one. That's majorly about the English at home. I swear to God that every single minute that you would invest in attending those classes are really priceless. And as Mrs. Fatim Zara has already mentioned, they're for free. You don't have to pay anything. You just attend the classes, do the exercises, and just like train your mind and use the language. An important tip is that if in case because the program is online and you don't get to actually interact much. Just try to find someone in your entourage or someone in your friends list, whatever, to practice with them the communication, because I know that a lot of people struggle with the communication rather than the actual input, which is the language itself. With regards now to the app, like to my experience with Susie for Women's Leadership, honestly, it was the most incredible experience. I was the actual living proof of the Moroccan saying of "ملح ما راب طيارة." So basically, I belong to a very conservative family. My dad never allowed me to travel to like anywhere in Morocco, like even without having my brothers with me or him with me. But then when the opportunity presented itself and I was chosen as part of like 200 plus applications, somehow, somewhat, he was kind of motivated. And of course, other things pushed him to agree to me going to the US. For me, it was really nice because the image or the kind of understanding that I had on the American culture, et cetera, was only from movies and series that I've watched. So I was able to get my hands down, like we say, on the culture, like be able to live in there. And I was so shocked. I've had really amazing stories for Moroccan participants in Susie for Women's Leadership. They are based in like Kansas, Lawrence. A lot of Americans themselves, they're like, wow, you're in Kansas, Lawrence, the most humid, hot city, like state in the US. But I assure you, people there are really nice and they're really like hospitable, they're generous, they're kind. And like an extra reason for them to open a conversation is the hijab that I'm wearing on my head. But like going to the tips, I think Fatem Zahra and Majda talked majorly about everything that I would have wanted to share. But since I've been doing consulting on interviews and majorly for like the American or the exchanges, like the cultural exchange programs by the US Embassy, I've had many people come to me for that. And I think one of the major things that I repeated and Fatem Zahra and Majda stressed enough, and I'm gonna repeat it again, be yourself. And what do I mean by be yourself? Is that whatever you're gonna share, whatever you're gonna write, whatever you're gonna submit, it has to be true and real. For example, a lot of people have the pressure to actually fill their CVs with just like whatever that is, even if that meant lying. And believe me, you're gonna get caught. And even if you don't get caught, like what's the point? Like you're not gonna be like able to learn if you're gonna lie about your professional. And if you open doors or the door to lie, then you're probably in deep trouble. The second thing, and I think it has also to be transparent. And what do I mean by being transparent? Whatever you write has to reflect not only your personality, but your values. And believe me, people listen to stories. As someone who's really into storytelling and who's really into making people listen, when people feel that you like they can resonate and they can actually connect with what you're saying, and they know that you're genuine and you're being really honest and transparent about what you want to do and what you have as experience, believe me, they're gonna believe you. And like they're gonna like just like that. The last one is, it's okay to say I don't know, and it's okay to admit to yourself your shortcomings, but it's also really important to get ready in advance. I still remember back in 2016, which was the year of my exchange program. I was so lucky that my interview was online, but I was like, I felt short of like preparing. So please do not repeat the mistake of of not preparing for the interview. Last point, and I'm so sorry I made it long, is with regards to the kind of answers you give. Please copy and paste, comparing yourself to others and just like wanting to be another version of anybody else is not going to get you anywhere. And people can feel authentic people. People can know exactly when a person is being themselves and they're being very direct about the things they believe in and the image that they want to brand themselves, because you are selling, well, this is really kind of a marketing kind of term, but you're selling your brand, your image, your person, your skills. So make sure to do it in the most authentic, real, transparent way. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That was very important piece of advice, Clayton. I really appreciate you mentioning all these things. I would like to add one more thing, is that Clayton mentioned there, which is tell your story. We want to know you through your passion, your struggle. Why are you helping these people in those communities? It has to come from I would say your heart. Whatever you're doing for your people, your community, we would like to know, why are you doing this? Like, you would go to the US, meet with these great people, learn from their experiences, but so what are you going to do with those experiences? Are you coming back and giving back to your community? Are you just doing that to improve your CV and add more experience to your CV? We can tell from meeting you, we can tell from interviews. And so you don't have to be the smartest and the brightest and who speaks the most fluent English. We would like that, but we are looking far beyond that. We are looking at people. We are seeking, as I said, passionate hearts, caring hearts. We are human beings. The people who meet with you during these interviews are people. So they want a story. They want something genuine, and we cannot stress that enough. Any other questions?
I would just like to add, just like Majda said, passionate people. We are looking for leaders, and we hope that anyone who thinks of applying knows what a leader is, because sometimes people, it's really hard to define a leader, but if you are a leader, you can definitely show others. Sometimes it's a feeling we have, but if you can just learn how to explain why you are a leader, it will help us and help you during the selection program. So understand what it is, what leadership is, and tell us how you think you are a leader. This is something that will help us and will tell us more about who you are.
Thank you, Fatim, Zahra, and Majda. You guys have any questions?
I have a question.
Go ahead, Sam.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Zahra, Majda, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
So, thank you. So I think here we are talking to you from an applicant perspective. I'd love to hear your perspective as like a committee. Like, what do you, when you check an application, what do you most like focus on? What's the, when you see an application, you see this is like, this person is different from the others. What tips you could give to stand out from the crowd?
So just like we said, we are looking for passionate people. We are looking for people who can demonstrate their leadership potential. We do get a lot of applications with the, well, listen, don't get me wrong. It's not bad to say that I am part of ISEC. It's not bad to say I'm part of, but there are some activities that we see everyone is engaging in. So we are really looking for someone who can say, okay, I'm part of this association or this organization, but this is what I do. This is my role. This is the change that I was able to bring. So,
or better yet, I created this association.
Yeah, exactly.
So it doesn't have to be a big international NGO like Enactus, ISEC. It could be a club that you started in your community center, or Dar Shabab, or just a reading club, or whatever. At least you started something. It was you who created that.
Exactly. We are looking for people who are making impact, people who are trying to improve themselves and improve others as well, people who will benefit from the experience in the US and then come back to Morocco and share this experience with others and bring positive change. So this is really something that makes the difference. If we feel that if someone is doing great things, but mostly for themselves, things that are really for their personal benefit, it is good, but it's not the leader that we are looking for. We are looking for someone who will lead by example, someone who will share whatever they get from the program. So, and someone who who engages in activities and is capable of explaining the impacts that they're making. We're not only looking for someone who does this and that because this club is part of my university, so I just joined. We are really looking for someone who's doing something out of passion, doing something out of impacting others. So this is what makes the difference.
I don't know if I'm supposed to say this. You can stop me, FZS, if I'm not supposed to say this, but
I cannot stop you.
but I don't know, especially that we are here, all ladies. I feel like I'm more comfortable. I feel like chatting with my friends. And so, to be honest, to me, I look for people who made themselves. I wouldn't say struggle. No, it's not the right word. But if I have two applications, one from someone from the city, she was, I don't know, I would say in the best schools since childhood, and someone who comes from a rural area, so in there's very small town in the Atlas Mountains, who learned English all by herself through videos or YouTube or programs online, and they are, I would say, the same level, or maybe the person from the city is even better than the other one. I would rather give a chance to that girl from the small town, to be honest, because I think she made herself. Her journey was longer, maybe more challenging, and she's here because of all that effort. Maybe she's not she was not given that chance before. She will not be given that chance before, while the other person, she got all these trainings, all the, like, the either English training, or she traveled abroad and knows about all these concepts from her previous experiences. I would rather give this chance to this little girl who never had that chance than the one who did before. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's a lot of things that we look at, but mostly first we look at eligibility when it comes to the small things, simple things. Are they within the age range? Are they do they have the right experiences? Do they have the right degree? And then we go into more details, and then we don't even make that assessment, I would say, until the interview. But so there it's more into really small things that make the difference between people.
And if you have a vision, like a genuine vision, you want to make a change, and this is how you plan to do it, and you are able to share it with us, there's no way you're not going to stand out. I mean, if there's this vision and there's this idea that you have, and this is how you are planning to reach your goal, we are here just to help you, maybe give you that little push so you can benefit from an American experience, so you can come back and then move forward and then achieve your goals. So vision and leadership potential and being sincere, being genuine are really things that make a candidate stand out.
I would say one last thing before we have to close this. The travel, the exchange program itself is not the goal. It's not our goal, at least. It's that relationship that we want to start with these people after. And so it's always, I would say, the return on investment. It is an investment. We spend a lot of money on these exchanges. And so while selecting, we also think about, what are we going to do with these people when they come back? Do they have that vision? And so part of your application and the interview is that, what are your plans after this program? What do you plan to do with this experience when you come back? And we love to hear that you have, sometimes people come with already an idea of projects, an action plan, a community they want to work on. Sometimes the passion is there and it's broad, but at least we want that glimpse of that. This is not just for you. This travel to the US is for a lot of people who supported you, who you work with already. And so always think about that either during application or interview. We want this relationship to last. It's only it could be up to a year in the US, but what happens after that? And I think Suad, I don't know about Litmas, but I know Suad is very engaged in the alumni network. She attends our programming that we do. And so the program is just the beginning of a journey that is very much worth taking time to apply for. Yeah, so that's the
Yeah, and
last
also I'd love to mention one other thing is that once you become an alumna, you have opportunities that you can apply to afterwards, like Majda said, like trainings or other programs, and you meet the whole network of the alumni. And there are also grants you can apply to and win them too. I myself won one, so you can do it too.
Thank you,
That's great.
Suad. Majda, we have one last question in the chat box from Wijdan.
So Wijdan asked about internship programs at the US Embassy. So Wijdan?
Yes. I really would like to ask about the internship programs because I have actually applied for so many, and I don't know exactly how they are doing the selection thing. I don't know if I'm supposed to apply online or do I have to send it by post. There's absolutely not too much information, even if I try to contact them via email or by phone, so I actually get no answer. So it's a little bit complicated.
So I'll try to answer that because that's an HR question, but like we've been recruiting for internships sometimes. So internships, just like exchange programs or job opportunities at the US Embassy, they are announced on the embassy website. I'll show you real quick where to find them. My screen. So can I go back to the search? Okay, let me show you. So if you can see my screen, if you type US Embassy Morocco and then under US Embassy in Morocco, there is jobs at the embassy. And so you click on that and it is an electronic application for sure. And so down is where you see the opportunities. And so, for example, now the HR office, the human resources office are recruiting maybe for an intern. And so you usually would just go there and look for again, you see the requirements, what are the functions that you will be doing. And I think for internships, you just email this email address, internship@state.gov. If it is not announced, there is no need. I would say only apply, just like with the exchanges, if there is a call, like they would not look at what we call them in French, the candidatures spontanées. They would not look into those. So they are very specific when it comes. So if they are asking for a certain profile, they will only look at your application if you fit that criteria, just like exchanges. And so if it's still there announced, that means they did not find someone yet. So this, even if it says here June 2020, September 2020, it still could be open. So I encourage you, if you are interested in human resources, to apply. So there are different sections at the embassy. Like me and Fatem Zara, we work at the public affairs sections, and the public affairs we do cultural programs, like for arts. We do science and technology programs, entrepreneurship programs like the AWE. We do exchanges. We also do work on journalism and media. And so if you have that interest, it's also public affairs. And so sometimes, especially during the summer, we ask for interns. And so that it will be also announced on the website. Different sections can request interns, and it goes through the same process. So you know where to find information. And again, they will review your application. They will call you for interviews. Sometimes they might request an English test. It depends on the internship opportunity. But yeah, that's where you find information.
Thank you, Majda.
Very welcome.
Thank you, Majda, and thank you, Fatima Zahra, so much.
You're most welcome, Umayma.
Thank you. It's been
Thank
amazing,
you.
like chatting with you and the ladies, and thank you so much for answering all their questions.
Thank you
Same
very
here.
much for having us. It was a pleasure meeting you, and I wish you the best of luck, and I hope maybe to see some of your applications.
Yes, please.
Inshallah, we'll have the girls definitely applying
Inshallah.
for upcoming opportunities.
And good
Inshallah.
luck with the program. I'm sure
Thank
it's gonna
you.
be great. So enjoy it.
Thank you so much,
Have a
Majda.
great evening and good luck, everyone.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone.
Bye. Bye,
Take care.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.